Welcome again to the old principal. 我就是老校长, and we're going to study another story. These stories are not too long. This one is a real story, and it comes from Asia, 来自亚洲地区. This will be lesson number 211. Now that is a snake. That is a very poisonous snake called a pit viper, 蝮蛇. But we're going to talk about this in just a moment. But before we do, we need to listen to the story.
Story 211. Stop! Snake! Bradley and his mother Gail worked in Thailand near the Myanmar or Burma border. Many of the Karen people of that country came across the border to attend the school and to receive help from the clinic. Bradley's only means of transportation was a motorbike. Usually Bradley drove and Gail sat on the back. One day they were on the way to help a man who had pneumonia and couldn't come to the clinic. As they traveled along, Gail smelled smoke. It wasn't the semi-sweet smell of firewood. Instead, it had that acrid smell of oil that had spilled on a hot muffler. Gail leaned over Bradley's shoulder and said, "Bradley, we need to stop and see what's causing that oil smoke." "It's nothing, Mom. I probably spilled some on the muffler when I added oil this morning." I still think you should stop and look at it." "Okay, Mom." Bradley stopped by a big tree. The young man examined the bike carefully and didn't find any evidence that oil had been on the exhaust pipe or muffler. And by now the smell of burning oil had vanished. That's strange," mused Gail. "I know I smelled burning oil." "Look at that, Mom!" Bradley seemed agitated as he pointed down the road. There, stretched across the road, lay a 5-foot green snake. It was a pit viper, one of the most poisonous snakes in Thailand. They would have ridden right over that snake had it not been for the smoke. Even without coiling up, the snake had been known to whip its head up and bite the bare legs of passing cyclists. In a few minutes it had slithered off into the grass on the other side of the road. Strange, the oil smell that had stopped them had disappeared. They mounted their motorcycle and drove away, thankful that they had escaped the fangs of the pit viper.
Welcome back. Now we begin the story. Bradley and his mother. Bradley 是男的 Okay, 和他的母亲呢 Gail. So Bradley and Gail, mother and son, or son and mother, okay? They worked together in Thailand, 泰国, near the Myanmar or Burma border. Okay, Myanmar. I think nowadays it's called Myanmar, isn't it? We used to call it Burma. Okay, Miandian. Okay, near the border. Okay, what is Bianjing? So let's take a look now at the next slide. Many of the Karen people of that country came across the border to attend school and to receive help from the clinic. Okay, so many Karen people, 克伦族的人 Karen people, 克伦族的人 came of that country, was it Miandian, right? Came across the border. Okay, came across the border. That is, 他们过了这个边境 this border between the two countries. What did they want to do? they came to attend school, 要上学. So obviously it wasn't too difficult to come across the border, and to receive help in the clinic. Now apparently there was a clinic, 有诊所, and so maybe Gail was a nurse and could help, or maybe there was a doctor there. But they lived and worked at this clinic. Going on, Bradley's only means of transportation was a motorbike. Bradley's only means of transportation, 唯一交通工具. Okay? Means of transportation could be translated 交通工具. 它唯一交通工具是什么？摩托车，摩托车。A motorbike. Sometimes we say motorcycle, motorbike, same thing. Okay? Usually Bradley drove and Gail sat on the back. So usually Bradley is the one that is driving or controlling. He's in the driver's seat, and his mother is sitting on behind. Very typical. Two people on the motorcycle, one in front, and then one sitting on the back. Going on. One day, they were on the way to help a man who had pneumonia. Okay, 肺炎. Okay, pneumonia. Pneumonia. Have you ever had pneumonia? Well, don't try to get it. It's very dangerous to have 肺炎. One day they were on the way to help a man who had pneumonia. So the man was suffering from pneumonia and couldn't come to the clinic. In fact, obviously, he was in bad shape. 他的情况不是那么好 because he was so bad he could not come to the clinic. 痛苦到没办法去诊所. Going on. As they traveled along, Gail smelled smoke, and it wasn't the semi-sweet smell of firewood. Now, as they traveled along, Gail smelled smoke, 这闻到烟味. Okay, so the smell of smoke, but it wasn't. Now this is very interesting because we wrote it this way: the semi-sweet smell of firewood. Okay, 轻的这个 semi-sweet, sweet 是甜的. Okay, semi means a little bit sweet. Semi meaning partially. 部分的 sweet. Semi means 部分的. Okay, so if it's semi-sweet, that means it's not really sweet, but a little bit sweet. It's hard to believe that in a situation like this, that smoke, okay, is a yan wei, can even be anything sweet. But it says here, going back, please, it says here it wasn't the semi-sweet smell of firewood, 木材烧这个烧木材. Okay, so that's actually when you're out camping, and I will agree with that. Sometimes when you're camping out in the woods and you're burning the wood out in the forest, it's a very nice smell. It's a nice smell. And so I can see why we would say, or they would say, semi-sweet smell, because it was a pleasant smell. Going on. Instead, it had an acrid smell of oil that had been spilled on a hot muffler. Okay, when it says acrid, acrid is a very interesting word. I had to look it up in the dictionary so we could give some synonyms, some words very similar. Okay, here's what my dictionary said. Acrid is a harsh, 很严重. Okay, harsh. Okay, stinging, 很刺激的. Okay, and it says acidic, 有酸味. Okay, so 香味. So this is not a pleasant smell. So it says instead, fine art, it had an acrid smell of oil, 这个油, that had spilled 掉在 what is a muffler? A muffler is a 消音器. Every car, every motorcycle has a muffler. And this makes it so it's not so noisy, not so loud, not so bothersome to other people. So it smelled like some oil had fallen on the 消音器. Now, remember, a muffler is hot, right? A muffler is hot. So, as they're going along, let's continue on to the next slide. Gail leaned over Bradley's shoulder. Gail leaned over Bradley's shoulder and said, of course, she's behind, so she leaned over his shoulder and said, Bradley, we need to stop and see what's causing that oil smoke. 油的烧油的烟呢, okay? What's causing that? We need to stop. Going on. It's nothing, Mom. I probably spilled some on the muffler when I added oil this morning. 母亲呢, 这个 it's nothing. 小事情没有什么呢. I probably spilled some on the muffler. 今天早上当我加油的时候, I added the oil this morning. 我掉一些在消音器上. Okay, so this is his explanation. Don't worry about it. It's nothing to worry about. Okay. But mothers, you know how mothers are. Mothers are always persistent. They don't give up very quickly. And so Gail continued on. And she said, I think you should stop. Okay, I think you should stop and look at it. 还是要查一查. Going on. Now, let's see if I can say this right. Okay, Mom. Like, if you want to stop, okay, we'll stop. Okay, Mom. So that is his way he responded. Bradley stopped by a big tree. Okay, he stopped by this big tree. The young man, 年轻人, examined the bike carefully. 这个查一查 the bike carefully. He wanted to make sure that everything was okay and there wasn't leaking oil or something like that. He checked. Next. And he didn't find any evidence that oil had been on the exhaust pipe or muffler. Okay, now, a couple extra words here that we haven't seen so far. Okay, he didn't find any evidence. 没有任何一个证据来说 okay, that the oil had been on the exhaust pipe or the muffler. Now, we already know what muffler is. The pipe, 这个管子, the pipe that goes from the motor to the muffler is called an exhaust pipe. And then you have the exhaust pipe or muffler, and both of them get very hot. Especially the pipe is, well, we even have a saying, piping hot. Piping hot means that the pipe is carrying something very, very hot, and so is hot. Isn't that strange? English is a strange language. Why would we say piping hot? Well, because it's the temperature of something that's still in the pipe, and therefore we say it's piping hot. At least that's the way I understand it. And so it should have been very hot going on. And by now, the smell of the burning oil had vanished. By now, 到了这时候, the smell of the burning oil 稍有的这个香味 no more, vanished, 消失了 going on. That's strange, mused Gale. Very strange. I know I smelled burning oil. I know I smelled burning oil. Okay, going on. Look at that, Mom. Look at that, Mom. Bradley seemed agitated as he pointed down the road. Okay, so Bradley looks up. Bradley's probably as surprised that there's no oil there. He looks up and he says, "Look at that, Mom." There is what? He was agitated. Let's go back to that word agitated just for a minute. Agitated. What does it mean to be agitated? Okay, agitated. You could say 激动. You could say 紧张啊,紧张啊. So if you are agitated, don't make me agitated. You know, some people are agitated, and when they're agitated, they're not nice. But he seemed agitated. He saw something, and he said, "Look at that," as he pointed 指着 down the road. 这个在这个前面的路 okay, down the road. Going on. There, stretched across the road, lay a 5-foot green snake. Stretched across the road was a 5-foot green snake. So now, do you know why I chose a green snake? Well, it's a pit viper. Okay, 蝮蛇. I think there's another name, 响尾蛇, or something like that. But whatever the case, it was 5 feet long. Okay, and it was green. It was a pit viper, one of the most poisonous snakes in Thailand. One of the most poisonous snakes in Thailand. 是泰国最毒的蛇其中之一. Okay, one of the most poisonous 有毒的 snakes in Thailand, 在泰国. Go ahead. They would have ridden right over the snake had it not been for the smoke. 如果没有闻到这个烟味的话，他们骑车子肯定会压到这个蛇的这个身上，肯定。Now you say, well, okay, so what? Is that important? I mean, doesn't sound like very important. Well, normally, you and I are in cars. And this is a motorcycle. And we will see in just a moment that is 很有关系. It did mean a lot. So let's take a look here. Okay, even without coiling up. Okay, so you know what a snake often coils up. Okay, to coil up means to go around in a circle like this. Then the snake can 咬动物，咬人等等. So what do you say? Maybe 盘起来 so coiled up. Even when it is not coiled up, okay, when it's not coiled up, okay, the snake has been known to whip its head up. So the snake can suddenly whip its head up. The head just goes whoop. That means to whip, a very fast, reactive type of movement where it's a reaction. It's just an immediate reaction. Go whoop, just like this. No coiled, just straight, and it goes up. And the snake had been known. Had been known means that it has happened before and people know about it. Whip his head up and bite the bare legs of passing cyclists. Okay, so what happens? It bites, the bare legs of passing cyclists. Where are we? What part of the world are we in? We are in Thailand. What do you know about Thailand? It's hot. So many people wear shorts. 他们穿的是短裤. So their legs are bare, which means that they're not wearing anything on their legs. Okay? Got that? So if the snake whips its head up, 它的头就 whip 上来, okay? And he bites the bare legs, 不穿任何一个东西, of the cyclist passing 经过的骑摩托车的人. Going on. In a few minutes, it had slithered off into the grass. In a few minutes, it had slithered. Now, this is a new word for me. Slithered. Okay? 扭动. Okay? 扭动. This is to slither. Snakes slither. They don't walk because they don't have legs. Okay? So they slithered. In this case, the snake slithered off into the grass. Okay? 这个路旁的这个草. Okay? On the other side of the road. 路的另外一边呢. Okay, going on. Strange. The oil smell that had stopped them had disappeared. So, 奇怪的事是啊 the oil smell 这个烧油的这个香味 okay that had stopped them 叫他们停下来 just because they wanted to see what was the problem had disappeared. There was no more smell of burning oil. So, going on, it says that they mounted their motorcycle. That means they got back on their motorcycle and drove away. Okay, 骑摩托车骑走了 and they were thankful that they had escaped the fangs of a pit viper. They were thankful that they had escaped the fangs. Do you know what the fangs are? These are these two teeth. The teeth. Two teeth. Okay? Maybe I should get a close picture. We have lots of teeth, right? Here in your mouth. But a snake often has two teeth. Just like that. And these teeth are called fangs. Fangs. And they were grateful that they had escaped, okay, 脱离 the fangs of a pit viper, okay, 响尾蛇, okay, or 这个蝮蛇. Wow. So, have you had an experience with a snake? Tell me about it in an email. Write it to theoldprinciple@gmail.com. Or you can write us an email by going to our website. You can even watch our programs on the website, www.theoldprinciple.org. Hey, it's been great being with you, and I hope that you will join us again next time.